I really want to close my computer, but I can't because there's a big gaping hole in my shirt. And I'm really hot.
Okay.
I feel like this shirt is something the government of North Korea would issue to its citizens.
100%.
You know?
It does.
And my tits are trying to pop the fuck out, so it's got a big old gaping hole in it. But you know what? I wanted to wear linen. I wanted to wear something nice.
I was going to say, you look a little culty.
It is,
You might drink the Kool-Aid.
But I like that.
Yeah, no, I don't hate
this
it.
is what I would tell my subjects to wear if they were in my cult. Linen
beautiful.
pants, linen shirt, linen everything.
How's it going?
I'm
feeling warm.
Yeah. Well, I came in and you were hot.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you're usually chill and I'm usually hot. And I'm chill right now, even though I'm worked up. But I'm like not hot.
Not
yet. Usually when I leave.
Sweating. Drenched.
No. Usually when I leave, this couch seat is wet.
I know Brophy hops up there and starts licking it.
He doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't, Paul. Stop, does he?
No.
That would be fucking wild if he did.
Every single time you come over.
Gross.
That seat cushion's just sweat and lick.
I mean, it is wet when I leave.
Yeah,
I feel
and he does lick the couch a lot.
Huh.
I have to get on his case. Well, it's mostly his feet.
Well, it's his feet.
But sometimes he's fully off his feet. He's just licking that couch.
Oh, you know what? I meant to ask you, when your little sister stayed over?
Yeah.
How was that?
We went to PT's Lounge on Colfax, which is like a very divey bar that only does cash and is run by this like
stabbed
super
there.
old, super old Russian guy.
Cool.
And he just like
only cash.
Yeah, he came out and he gave my mom and sister a rose, and he was just we were watching. He just like anytime
He's
a girl
working for those
would
tips.
go in, dead eyes, no emotion, just fucking Soviet Union dead.
Yeah.
Walking to every woman in the bar and handing them like a rose.
It's like when you're at the stoplight and they want to wash your windshield and you're like, no. And then for women, they put soap on your window and then they put a heart. That's happened
never
to me.
happened
That's
to
happened
me.
to me. Well, it's because you're not a woman. That's happened to me twice.
How do they know?
It's true.
That's
your girlish figure. Just
yeah.
kidding.
Excuse me.
Just kidding. But anyway.
Oh, I've got birthing hips.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one thing I've learned since my brother had his kid is like I could fucking throw a kid on these hips and he's sitting. He's sitting, dude. It is side saddle.
Yeah, he's got a seat.
Yeah. Rodeo. Like I could go on a journey.
Oh, God. Just to be held again.
Just to be held again. To be lifted.
Dude. Oh my God.
You know?
I found this because, my TikTok feed's nothing but book talk shit.
Yeah.
So, and then it's just like male thirst traps. I have to show you this man. I almost sent it to you today, but I know you wouldn't be able to handle it. He's like 6 feet tall, huge, but it's not muscle. It's like,
thickness. Thickness.
Thick.
He's down with the thickness.
And I was like, this guy could pick me up and throw me across the room. I would ask him to do it again.
Yeah, well, I can bet you would. I saw a video of a big old dude like that today that picked up his girlfriend, put her onto his shoulders, and then swung her around with his arm into this and kissed her. And he looked so dumb in the face, and that's my thing, is like big, thick, and dumb.
Yeah, because you could just be like, hey, babe, I want to do this for TikTok. Will you do this?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, babe.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh.
Yeah, you just like feed them, water them, and fuck them.
Yes.
And it's all you have to do.
That is the best thing you've ever said. That's all I want. Well, we'll work on that.
Yeah,
anyway,
we'll work on that.
Do you want to do the intro?
Yeah.
Or is it my turn?
No, you did it last time.
Oh, did I really?
Yeah, you were like very insistent about it.
I remember that.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Secondhand Smut. I'm Paul.
I'm Angela.
And this is Secondhand Smut.
Also, this is episode 20.
Episode 20.
So I just
That's so many.
Yeah.
That's so many.
That is so many. You know what? You know what we do, Paul?
What?
We do it for the fans.
Yeah, we do it for the fans. Yeah, do we want to talk about our fan message? Or is that weird?
I just want to say that, what's her name? Tiana?
Tina?
Now I can't remember how to pronounce. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Yeah.
But God, she was the sweetest thing.
Yeah, we just got some great fan message that really got us jazzed up, ready to go.
I cried.
Oh yeah. We showed everyone in the world about it. Shout out to the fans.
Let's give her
Thanks
a shout
for
out
listening. So once we figure out her name, we'll shout her out. Shout out for the other real ones. DG.
Oh God.
Our homie.
Derek George.
Derek
DG.
George.
Daddy Derek.
Daddy Derek.
My God.
Leader of the fan club.
Leader of the SHS fan club.
Yeah.
Paul, this is the text you said. It's spelled Tiane. I really...
Tiania.
Yeah.
Our girl
Tian.
Tiania.
Yep. Our girl Tian. Girl, we
We're
love
to say
you.
thanks. Yeah, we love you. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, so just thanks to everybody because it is fun. I mean, we don't have a lot of listeners by any means, but it's fun.
We'll get there. I guess we should figure out how to do.
I mean, persistence is key, I guess.
Yeah, we need to make a community or something, like a Discord server where our like fans can talk and
That's true.
and all that, and we can like talk about books. We'll figure that out. We'll try to figure out how to connect everybody.
I just want you to blow up in the next 5.
Oh yeah.
To let me like in the next year.
Yeah.
And then just talk to somebody about this.
I was like, what should we like pitch this to a podcast network or something?
Yeah.
And try to get like.
I really think we should.
That's a good idea.
'Cause we've got banked.
That's true. We're just gonna keep doing this.
Yeah.
20 and way more to come.
Yeah, for sure.
Know? What up?
Well, I do want to say.
What?
For in true SHS fashion, we've got a big day. Like when we got these mics, we had a big day.
Yeah.
And a shitty book. It was The Shadows Between Us.
It was.
So we've got our 20th anniversary episode,
Yeah.
and just an absolute dud of a book.
Perfect. You know what? That's actually perfect because I've been like really positive all day. I'm ready to shit on something.
Oh,
I'm
I'll
ready
let you
to
shit
be
all over this, Paul.
negative and toxic and mean.
Well,
I'm ready to be the worst parts of myself.
Well, we let our worst parts out when we did bad, wrong things, though.
No, those were the best parts of me. Those are truly the best parts of me.
I can't.
The way that my boyfriend wants to fuck now because of that book, and we do bees.
I want to fuck like that book, too.
Yeah. He's like, I'm definitely going to read it. I said, yeah, that's what's up.
Does he really want to read it?
Yeah.
Because I really will buy a copy of it if you guys will read it. Oh, well. My God. I'm sorry.
Phlegmy.
I got it out, though.
Spring. Pollen.
It's the least I can do for Taylor since I sold him a lemon of a car.
Yeah, Angela sold my boyfriend a car that exploded 4 months after, and he got a new car in 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a car pretty quick, I guess, if you need to.
I didn't know that. Maybe I'm just a poor.
Yeah, I mean, if you need one, you can find. There's so many cars.
Yeah.
But he did pay $4,000 for my car and had it for 4 months, so that was $1,000 a month.
That's what I said. I said, it's like you rented a car until you got your real car.
Yeah.
So I mean, whatever.
For a lot of money.
Yeah.
So Taylor's no longer my friend, and he hates me.
I
know he hates me. I'll never be able to look him in the eye again.
He was like, should we even tell Angela? I was like, what do you mean?
How could I not?
Yeah, what do you mean? We're just going to roll up in our Crosstrek?
Yeah, and
she's
like,
going to be like, oh, wow, my car looks really different.
Well, your car.
Your car.
Yeah, Taylor, he'll never look at me the same. I'll never be able to hug him again.
Well, he'll just always know that you conned him.
Wow.
You know?
Yep.
Good con.
It'll keep me up for a good 10, 20 years, I guess.
Taylor was like, I think Angela's going to cry. Don't tell her.
I didn't cry.
She didn't cry.
I didn't cry, and I didn't cry by myself either.
Perfect.
In fact,
I knew you weren't going to cry, and now I get to be right about that.
Nice.
Thank you.
Hey, you know what? That's called cognitive behavioral therapy. You recognize an emotion, you check in with yourself.
Hello.
And then you say, is this life or death? No, it's not. Okay, I'm going to try to move on.
Who's healing.
And that is what I had to do in your living room last night.
Yeah, and then we moved on and we had a great night.
Yes. Except for Maggie won't text me back now.
Well, yeah.
She hates me.
Yeah. Well, her and Taylor are really tight, so.
I know. God damn it.
Oh.
Okay, well, let's get into it. Okay. So this week's book is
Tucked, Pucked, and Flucked.
Pucked, and
Ticked and Flucked, or whatever.
Pucked and Pregnant.
Right.
By Sofia T. Summers. That's Sofia for you.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sofia Summers. I don't have the option to...
Read the back?
No, I do.
Okay, good.
I don't have the option to increase the brightness on this lock screen. Oh, actually, you know what? This is what I could do. I read it on my Kindle. I didn't get a hard copy of it. Thank God. Would have been real pissed about spending money on that. But here, let me show you the cover art. This book was promising. Take it. Actually, yeah.
Take it.
Hold it for a second. Look at the guys.
Yeah.
It had so much potential, dude. It's a reverse harem. Why choose? Reverse harem means one girl, lots of men. Why choose means why choose? You can have all of them.
I don't know if I think the one on the left is hotter or the one in the middle is hotter.
I think they're all not for me.
Oh, I would do them.
I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
But I'm not like...
No.
I mean,
And they do look like AI or something.
Yeah,
he is like, the one that's pulling me in.
Yeah. At least the blonde one has a beard.
Yeah.
I just don't like blondes, but whatever. So I'm going to have you read the little blurb here.
My twin brother would kill me if he knew. I just slept with his 3 best friends all at once. Now there's a baby on the way, and any of them could be the father. All right, I can see how this could be dumb. As the NHLs, or fun, but just like the way it's punctuated.
Oh, yes, dumb.
As the NHL's most ruthless analyst, I'm supposed to be exposing the Boston Blades' weaknesses, not succumbing to my own. When a heated argument about my latest broadcast turns physical, there's no turning back. Did I mention these are the same 3 men who took my V card? See, V card?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Oh, Paul.
10 years ago, the same 3 who still set my body on fire with a single look. Connor, the ice-cold captain who thaws only for me. Dmitri, the Russian bad boy whose fierce protection matches his reputation. And Aiden, my brother's best friend who's been secretly in love with me since we were kids. It was supposed to be one night of delicious scandal. Instead, it became the hottest story in hockey. And when my pregnancy gets exposed on live TV, let's just say my brother isn't the only one out for blood. I don't know what that means. That feels weird. Some say you can't love 3 men at once. I say watch me score this hat trick. I'm guessing that's a hockey thing.
And soccer. It's when you get 3 points. It's when you get 3 goals. I mean, not points.
Because this time, I'm playing for keeps.
Yeah.
I can't tell that if you hadn't told me this book sucked, I wouldn't have hated that back as much as I did.
For sure.
But since I know it sucks, I hate it.
Yep. And I'm sorry for that.
It's all right.
This book, I rated on Storygraph 2.5 because I was being nice.
Why are we being nice?
Because there's only 6 reviews on there, and my 2.5 brought the rating down from like 2.92 to 2.42.
Well, let's get this in the ones.
But I am going to rate this book a 2 out of 5. And The Spice is like 2.753, I guess. I mean, there's like anal and so, like they're having foursomes, but it missed the mark.
Okay.
In every single way.
Yeah.
And my rating is so low is because the writing is so weak, so elementary, so terrible.
Yeah. The back felt like that. Very like teen novel.
Yes. We meet Olivia or Liv.
Hate.
I'm ready to start hating. Yeah. She's 26 years old, and she's a hockey analyst for the minor leagues, the AHL, not the NHL. So I'm going to school you a little bit.
Thank you. I need it.
Yep. And so she comes into the office one day, and her office is a buzz. Like, everyone's in their cubicles talking about shit, and she's like, what's going on? What's going on? And they're like, oh, there's a senior analyst position in the NHL that just opened.
Oh, my God.
They're like, oh my God. She's like, this is what I've been training for. This is what I've been busting my ass for. I'm working in this man's male-dominated world, and this is my opportunity. This is my time to shine.
26 feels young to have that job.
Senior analyst job.
Yeah.
But what do I know?
Yeah. I bet you don't have to be that smart.
Probably not. You just have to know hockey.
Woohoo.
Again.
Don't care.
Not that smart.
Not that smart.
Her boss calls her into the office, and her boss is like, you've made it. We want you. This job is yours.
So she didn't have to like apply or anything?
Nope.
Must be nice.
They just offered her the senior analyst role in Boston.
You want to know what I did today?
Did you get a job?
Went to my 4th interview and have not yet been told whether or not I got the job for an administrative assistant. 4 interviews. This was with someone I already had an interview with.
For administrative assistant. Must be a really cutthroat
I guess so.
Receptionist job.
I guess so.
Jesus
I know. Well,
Christ.
Here's open.
Here's open.
Must be nice, though.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
She's just giving it. And they say, oh, this job is in Boston for the Boston Blades. And she like rolls her eyes and she's like, oh my God.
Because she's from Boston.
She goes, Max. And she was like, tells her boss.
Max is her brother. Okay.
Twin brother.
Twinning.
And she's like, my brother is the captain of that team. Did he put me up? Like, I don't want a nepotism job. I don't want you to give me this job.
Why don't you shut up and take a good thing when it's offered to you?
Thank you, Paul.
Okay.
Which is basically what her boss tells her.
Good.
No, her boss is like, listen, I didn't even know Max, whatever. It was your brother. She's like, well, yeah, I've kept it under wraps because I've been living in his shadow my entire life. And I wanted to make a name for myself.
I feel like she's projecting.
So no one knows that she is the twin sister of one of the most famous hockey players in the United States.
Okay.
And so her boss is like, no, this is straight up, it's merit-based. You need to take this job. You need to do that. So she decides to go. She's like, all right, I'm taking it. I'll do it.
I mean, I would too.
So later that night, or like maybe a week later, they give her like a going away party or whatever. And she goes home later that night and she's got her little booty call over. It's like their last fuck. He's going to drive her to the airport in the morning.
Is he sad about it? Or relieved?
Well, and this was like, I was reading this, and this is in chapter 2.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is fun. I was like, this is going some places I did not expect.
Yeah.
I got really excited. He's over there, and he's making out with her, and he's like,
I'm going to knock you up.
Tell me what to do, mistress. And it turns out she's a femdom.
Okay.
And like the whole scene.
Yeah, this is a trick.
I was like, oh my God, she's a femdom.
That sounds cool.
I was like, this is fun.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I'm so into this. I'd never read femdom. And it was a good scene. So anyway, she fucks him. She like ties him to a chair and like tells him, you know, like, eat me out, blah, 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 till I come. And then maybe I'll let you come if you're a good boy. Shit like that. And I was like, love that, you know? Mm-hmm. But then he drops her off at the airport the next day. And he, like, doesn't get out. He's like, see ya. She's like, see ya. She's like, see, I'm going to miss this. No strings attached. No feelings. I can be a femdom if I want. Now I'm going to Boston. I'm going to have to find a new goddamn hookup. And it's going to take forever to find a new hookup.
This pessimistic ass bitch, dude. It's like, fucking, you're having great things happen to you. Appreciate them.
Dude, for real.
Jesus.
Seriously. So she gets to Boston, and her twin brother, Max, picks her up. He's 6 years older than her. I'm sorry.
Dude, that was crazy. That was crazy, man.
Hold on.
Her twin brother, 6 years her senior.
He's 6 minutes older than her. And his entire life, like I said, she's lived in his
6 minute long shadow.
6 minute long shadow. And him and his dad are weird. His dad has always been like, you need to protect your sister. You're her protector. You have to look out for her entire life, which I guess that happens sometimes with families, but it's fucking weird.
Do you want to know what I think about that kind of stuff? You know that they are maybe a bad guy because they're so worried about what's going to happen to their daughter because they know that people like them are out there. Preach. That's like the vibe I get. It's like if you're like
100%. Yeah.
I know what boys are like. I'm like, is that because that's what you're like?
Like in high school, Max would not let her have any boyfriends at all.
That's healthy.
Yeah.
That's healthy.
That's
super
healthy.
Great. She's going to be able to have relationships super
Dude,
fine.
You're right. But it's because the dad was a pig.
Yeah. And he's like, I know what those boys want. I know what I've done. I know what they'll do.
Yeah.
Sickos.
So she was supposed to live with her mom and dad when she got to Boston for a bit until she found a place, whatever. But Max picks her up and he's like, surprise, you're going to move in with me. And mom and dad are going on like a 2-month world traveling experience. And you're going to be my roommate in my penthouse. Because I haven't seen you in... Like, she's been away from him for 5 years.
Okay.
And he's like, I want to reconnect, whatever. So we're going to we're going to be roommates.
I've been watching too much White Lotus.
Yeah.
I'm immediately uncomfortable. I'm like, these siblings shouldn't even talk to each other.
For real.
I hate it.
30-yard radius.
Yeah.
So she gets to his penthouse, and it's like a welcome to Boston party for Liv. And it's Connor, Dimitri, Adrian, her twin, and her mom and her dad.
So the 3 guys that she lost her virginity to, her twin brother who's 6 years older than her, and her parents.
Yep.
This party sucks.
Yeah. So They're all the same age. Her and her brother, obviously, and Dimitri, Connor, and Aiden all grew up together.
Yeah.
And so they have been, Aiden's known her since they were both like 2 years old. And then Connor and Dimitri, they all met like maybe in high school. So they've been like a unit of friends forever.
No girls? She doesn't have any girlfriends?
Nope. She just hung out with her brother.
She's not really a girl's girl.
No, she's not a girl's girl.
Okay.
Hung out with her brother and those 3 dudes. Which, I mean, if I had a harem...
Look it. Keep it in your pants.
So then we get like a Aiden's perspective, and he's like, "Oh my god, she's so beautiful."
I bet that is what he sounds like.
And he like is the artist, so he draws. So as soon as she walks in the door, he's like,
I'm gonna sketch
his
you.
hands twitching, and he's like, "God, I wish I could sketch her right now."
Are you kidding me?
And he's like, "I would sketch her. Should I do it with a sword or a bow and arrow, or how would I sketch her? Maybe with long, lean, muscled legs." It was fucking. I'm like, what am I reading?
Yeah, dude.
It's like,
Dude, that's the lamest shit I've ever heard. I'm sorry.
it was bad. Anyway, so he's like, he still has a thing for her.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. So they're all having family dinner that night, and the dudes are like really close with their parents because they were at their house all the time.
Sure,
so,
they're
like,
the cool
the parents
house.
are like, "You're my kids too. You're my, whatever."
If you're gonna drink, I'd rather you do it here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they're all like razzing each other, and then the mom is like, "Seriously, when are any of you gonna settle down? I want grandkids. Why aren't any of you settled down?"
Bukkake.
Yep. So then she looks at Liv and is like, "I see 3 eligible bachelors right here, Olivia. Why don't one of them could make a good partner?"
Why don't the 3 of us
And
make a
Max is
milkshake
like,
and see what comes out?
You see, totally.
Yeah.
What color hair?
Yeah.
And Max is like, "Shut up. They can't touch my sister. None of you keep your hands off my sister."
Why? Because you want to fuck her?
Right,
That's the first thing I think when
too.
brothers are like that.
Too. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Would you care?
I mean, I guess maybe I don't want my friends.
If they're scumbag, if they're
I guess,
scumbag,
yeah, are they
sure.
bad dudes?
Right. Anyway, and so now we're cutting to, they've had that awkward moment. They're
Yeah.
just like, whatever. Cutting to her.
What they eat for dinner? It's okay if you don't know.
I don't know if it's said.
I'm hungry. It's okay. We'll get through this.
Okay, so everyone just know Paul's hangry.
I'm hungry.
And think about that.
I'm on a calorie deficit.
That's not good for attitudes.
No, I'm good. I'm feeling fine.
I know, I'm good. Anyway, so on her first day, she gets a tour of the office from Grace, the receptionist. And she's like showing her around. She meets her new boss. And Grace is like, "Just FYI, this guy on your team, Travis, watch out for him. He's the reason why Alice is gone. And you just took over for Alice. And I know he ran her out of here and he's a scumbag. So watch out for Travis."
Like how? Like sexual abuse?
No,
Okay.
just a prick.
I'm just
male-
truly thinking the worst.
You are.
I'm really in a place.
Just think of like a male-dominated, disgusting world. And so he's a
I'm
scumbag.
thinking about your old office. I'm thinking about
Well, actually, you know what? He did sexually harass her. Not assault, but definitely
harassment.
sexual harassment
Yeah,
in the workplace, which that's a no-no. And so she's like, "I wish he would. I wish," this is what Livia's saying. She's like, "I wish he would.
Yeah.
I'm one tough
Yeah,
cookie."
give me a reason.
He doesn't want to mess with me.
Yeah.
It's literally like saying shit like that.
Yeah.
Like the dialogue, the writing was so bad, Paul. Like, literally was like, "Oh, I'd like to see him try. He's just met one tough cookie that he shouldn't mess with." And I'm like, what the fuck am I reading?
I'm sorry you read it.
Well, I would have DNF'd it if I read this on my own.
Yeah.
Because this is something I would pick up and read.
Sure, and the
based off
title is funny.
Yes.
It makes me laugh.
Yes. I would have DNF'd this book in
Yeah,
probably
fuck that shit.
5 pages. Anyway, first she meets Travis and he is like, "Oh, let me show you around." She's like, "Well, Grace already showed me around." He's like, "Nah, she can't. She doesn't really know where to show you." So he like shows her around again.
Are you gonna
She's
show
like,
me your dick?
"I've already met
Like,
all these
fuck
people."
off.
And he like says gross things to her. And
Yeah.
so she's like, "You know what I'm gonna start doing? I'm gonna start documenting everything he says in a file, and then I'm gonna bring it to HR in like a month or 2 after he
That's smart.
does." But yeah, I was like, "Good for you."
I've started HR files.
Oh yeah, I've saved emails.
Yeah.
I've saved
never used them.
lots of
but
emails. Oh, I've used mine.
I haven't.
It
had
didn't
to.
work. It didn't do
No.
anything.
Yeah.
But I saved them and showed them when they asked me to. Now we're cutting to Dimitri's perspective. He is the
Do a Russian accent.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
I can do one in my head. I can do accents in my
Oh,
head.
my head accents are spot on. It's actually crazy.
It is insane. And then you try to do them out loud.
Yeah, my tongue doesn't know that.
No.
My tongue doesn't know what my mind does.
No. Like in my head,
You're
do
crushing it right now.
the best British accent.
Oh, sure.
And then when I say it out loud, I'm like, where are we getting lost in translation here?
Just practice. You just have to practice
I
alone in your
guess.
apartment to your cat.
So Aiden's the artistic one. Dimitri is the hothead
Okay.
one.
Because he's Russian.
He's the bad boy. He likes to fight.
yeah.
He's a defenseman. He eggs people on and then fights them, blah, blah,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah. So in this chapter, we find out that the summer before senior year
Okay.
in high school.
Yep, junior to senior.
Yep. Max went out of town for like 2 months to some intensive hockey training camp.
And they passed her
And
around.
Liv
like a
was
tour.
left alone with Dimitri, Connor, and Aiden. And that's when she lost her virginity to all three of them, which I'm like, I'm sorry, but you truly only lost your virginity to one of them. Unless it
I
was
hate to
TVP.
get technical with
Right.
you.
Do you know what TVP is?
TVP? Mm-hmm. Triple
Triple
vaginal penetration.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
Unless it
a
was
good old
TVP, which I
Yeah.
believe it wasn't. You didn't lose
Yeah.
your virginity to all three of them. You lost your virginity to one.
Well, maybe she lost a different virginity to each one.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Well, and she did that summer.
Yeah. Well, you
Yep,
know?
there are three.
Yeah, there are three.
So, yeah. And then they kept up a foursome, a little tryst, that whole summer while Max was out of town.
Yeah.
And then they all went their separate ways, like after high school graduation, and she hasn't seen them all.
And did the boys kiss?
No.
See,
I know.
I wish the boys
And,
would
you know, and I
kiss.
should have known that this would be a disappointment when it was, there were no M's before the F.
Oh.
Because that tells you if it's gay.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a fun little code to know.
It is. It's hard to understand. I'll teach it to you.
Okay. It's like Morse code.
It is. It really is. So then they fuck that entire summer, whatever. They've never told Max. They've never told anyone. So they've all been harboring this secret for a decade, which that's a long time. Pretty big secret.
Yeah, I know. I would have told.
And now she's back there and she's with all of them.
Well,
because they play on the same team.
They all do.
Yeah. And Max is the captain of that hockey team. And all three of them are on it. And they're all still best friends.
I have a suspicion that Max is going to find out somehow in this book. And I bet he's not happy.
He won't be happy.
But he comes around by the end. I guess.
That's
what
you
I
know
think.
what?
That's what I think.
And who could predict that?
Who could guess what happens in this book?
Yeah. So, okay, now we're cutting to they've got an away game in New York, and for whatever reason, I guess she's going on the road with them.
Well, how do you analyze them if you're not with them?
Yeah, if you can't watch the game in person.
So,
You can ask me, what does an analyst do?
does she analyze their team or
Yes,
the other
she's an analyst
teams?
for them. But so
Or
I
both?
looked up what does a hockey analyst do.
Yeah.
They analyze stats, they analyze stuff so they can support decisions, coaching decisions, or an analyst can be someone like who has a microphone and is sitting behind a desk and is on TV, but they have to know sports stats.
Yeah.
And she knows sports stats. And that's what she does. She's on TV. So her and Travis, the piece of shit Travis, are actually sitting behind a desk with microphones analyzing the game as it's being played.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a
Anyway.
nightmare of a job to me, but whatever.
I don't think she'd have to go on the
okay.
road for that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So she's in New York. They're all in New York. It's after the game, and the three guys are in their hotel room, and they're about to watch her report for that night. And she makes a joke about Dimitri. She's like, man, imagine how good of a player he'd be on the ice if he spent as much time on the ice as he did in the penalty box. And Dimitri's like, what the fuck? He gets pissed. He's like, you can't talk shit about me like that.
Too late.
So he
Get out of the
stands up.
penalty box then. Don't give me shit to talk.
Yeah. So he gets up. They all three get up, and they like stalk down to her hotel room.
What, are they going to hit her?
And so she bangs on the door. She opens the door. She's wearing like a black satin robe with black lace underwear and
Casually
in her
in her hotel room,
If you
laced
opened
up,
my hotel
full
room
face
door,
of makeup, hair done.
yeah.
Just like that. If you open the hotel room, for me, it's going to smell like fast food
Yes.
and
Chili's to
farts.
go.
Yeah. Sorry.
And they like stalk in and she's like, come on in.
Yeah.
And so he's like, you can't talk shit about our team and us that way. Her and Dimitri just get into it. And this is like from or Connor's perspective. And
no one's going to stop him.
And that was her and Dimitri's thing. They would
hate sex,
argue and argue and argue, and then fuck and fuck and fuck. So that's clearly something that's happening.
Sounds like my parents.
So, in the argument, she's like yelling at him. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hurt your little ego.
Yeah, your fragile little ego.
She's like, guess you're coming up short in some areas. And he grabs her hand and puts it on his dick. And he's like, does it feel like I'm coming up short here?
I'd be like, yeah, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Feel like you get a short dick.
Yeah. I've had big dicks since the last time we fucked.
And then he just grabs her, starts making out with her.
Oh, God.
And then Connor, like, saunters over to her. He's behind her. Dimitri's in front. And he, like, reaches around, unclasps her robe, and lets it fall. And he's, like, sucking on her neck while she's making out with Dimitri and all this stuff. And then they stop. And then they look over at Aiden. And Aiden's, like, torn. He's like, should I do this? Should I not do this? Because he's the, like, sweet one, you know?
I hate it.
But then she's, like... They're, like... She freezes, you know? And they're like, we'll go. And she's like, no, wait!
Yeah.
And she's like, let's just do it just this night. Get it out of our systems just tonight. Famous fucking last words.
Yeah, obviously you planned this too, bitch. I feel like you orchestrated this whole thing.
She did.
Sitting in this robe.
She's like, I egged you on TV for a reason. I knew you'd come find me.
Oh, see? Oh, you can't trust women. And I've always said that.
You can't trust women. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have a foursome. Connor takes the lead. It's clear that he is like the leader. Like he's telling people what to do. Dimitri's like fucking her in the ass. Aiden's somehow eating her out. I couldn't picture it in my head by the way they described it. Also, the smut in this book, they're missing steps.
Yeah.
Like, this is the worst smut writing, and I say that as someone who's written good smut. Okay?
That's true.
And Paul, you should see my new...
I was going to say, how is the book coming along?
Maggie came over last Friday, and I let her read the cowboy romance that I'm writing.
Yeah.
She was scandalized.
What the fuck, dude? You're doing it.
Yeah. She was like, you have got to keep going. And yesterday... Oh, anyway, sorry. I'm having ADHD.
That's fine.
Bad today.
Yeah. I hope no one came here for a good episode. We're not doing that.
Yeah, this is a fun episode.
Yeah, fuck this book.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Yesterday, I went for a walk to Wash Park, and I pictured this entire fucking scene, and I went home, typed it out. So now I've got 2 huge smut scenes. They're going to be at least 3.5 chapters long. Anyway.
God, you're like Rain Man with smut.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
happening in front of you.
It is.
Yeah. Woo.
Smut
Thank God we
autism.
found it for you. We found your thing. You're in a flow state.
Dude, really? Oh, but do you know what my therapist told me?
What?
She was like, when I showed her this,
yeah.
It's like, this is what the next episode is.
Yeah. Real fast.
Uh-huh. And she was like, oh, is that going to be banned in Project 2025? And I was like, what? And she was like, buried in 2025. They're going to get rid of smut.
Erotica porn.
And I'm like, if that happens before I can write a book, I'll be so livid.
No, just if it happens, publish the book anyway. Go to jail. Stand up for what you believe in.
All right.
Be a martyr.
Okay.
I'll make a whole thing about it.
You would think that'd be a white collar crime. You'd think I'd go to like a easier prison.
Yeah, I don't think you go to like Supermax.
Yeah.
But we could probably get you to Florence.
But I don't want to be in that.
Why, Mom? Your mom come to visit.
Oh, no. Those prisons are scary.
Of course they're scary.
I want a white collar prison.
Well,
where
that like Los one isn't that scary.
Okay, well, I could handle where it's like I get to walk around the prison.
Yeah, I'll wave at you. I'll drive by. I'll wave at you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll hit up the Carl's Jr. and then I'll come see you.
Wouldn't that be wild, Paul?
Yeah.
Anyway, Dimitri's in her ass, blah, blah, blah. The smut's terrible in this book. They're skipping steps. You're like, how did we get to this position? Anyway, so eventually she realizes the next morning that no one used a condom. However, in this scene, only Connor
came inside her vagina. Only one of them
came inside of her vagina. Okay?
The other holes were...
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And I think it was Connor or Aiden. And so she wakes up, she's like, oh my God, we didn't use a condom, but I'm on the pill, so thank God. So...
so this is a miracle, baby.
Yeah.
This was God's will.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
A couple weeks goes by, she's itching to get out of her brother's house. She's trying to find her own apartment. She's sick of her brother. And they have like this huge knockdown, drag out, whatever fight. I don't know how you say that. And so she's like, this whole bodyguard thing you have going on is weird. And you have puck buddies over to the house and fuck them all the time. But if I was to bring a man, you'd fucking throw him out. He's like, goddamn right I would.
Stop trying to fuck your sister, dude. I don't know. Like,
I don't get it. So she's like, I'm leaving. So she packs her bags and she goes to Aiden's house that night. Oh, it was Connor who came in her at the foursome.
Connor.
It's Connor who came in her. Anyway.
Connor. Always coming inside.
So that night, she's like, I'm going to Aiden's. I'm going to stay at Aiden's. So she goes to Aiden's and they order dinner, and he's so sweet. He's the kind one.
What do they order? I'm so hungry.
Pasta.
Oh!
A whole mess of pasta.
Okay.
So he's talking to her, and she's like, God, it would be just so lovely, you know, if, like, someone was to draw my likeness. And he's like, oh, come down here.
What is the writing in this book?
They were talking about something. They got on the topic. I can't remember, but it was not really that organic. And
yeah,
she was like, it's every girl's dream to have someone draw their likeness. And he was like,
is that your dream?
Is that so? No. Is
that what you'd like someone to do?
Mitch drew me on the dry erase board senior year in math class.
Yeah, it was horrifying.
It was
horrifying.
Uncanny.
Yeah.
With a expo mark.
Yeah.
I hated it.
And it was so weird that
like,
you just turned around and he just held up a whiteboard that had your face perfectly drawn on it.
That was bizarre.
Yeah.
Also really funny.
Well, yeah.
He's like, let me take you to my sketching room. And she goes in there and she's like, what is this? You did this? It's like pictures of her, sketches of her.
Obviously.
Uh-huh. So they fuck on his sketch table and he comes in her that night.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, okay. I was going to say, what's happening?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, maybe when he came in her, he ripped out the other cum.
Maybe.
They say that's why penises are shaped like mushrooms.
I know, I've heard.
You know?
That's, my hairdresser told me that. That day
fun.
that I got dyed my hair blonde. Tara told me that. She's like, did you know that why it's shaped that way? And I said no. And she's like,
cum
yes, we
hook.
could scoop out other.
Yeah.
I said, that's funny. I didn't know that.
That's fun.
So she stays with Aiden for a week, and they've been fucking the entire time, and he doesn't tell the other dudes, and she doesn't tell the other dudes. And he's starting to have guilt that he's fucking her without them, and that his best friend Max, doesn't know.
Weird vibes.
So finally, her and her brother make up, and he's like, I bought you your own apartment so you can have your own place. I bought it for you.
Must be nice.
Could you imagine just getting jobs? Your rich brother's just
brother bought you an apartment,
but it's
dude.
not an apartment. It's like a apartment in Boston. It's like a penthouse.
Yeah.
Sick.
I'm like thinking like nice luxury condo.
Fuck yes. Yeah, dude. So the next morning, this is bizarre. This is the conflict in the book.
Okay.
The next morning, she's like scrolling her phone, and in like trash magazine articles, there's pictures of Max coming in and out of her apartment building, and she's the new analyst who's been on TV. And so like these local Boston people are like, look at Max coming in and out of the new analyst's house. What are they, in a relationship? Ooh, the hot analyst.
He wishes, it sounds like.
They have the same last name. They're twins.
Yeah.
Don't you think
at some point
they would have been like, they have the same last name. They're twins.
Well, and I don't think that like the people they grew up with wouldn't be like, no, they're twins.
Right.
It's not like a secret.
Overnight.
She hasn't told her coworkers that she has a twin, but that doesn't mean that
the world doesn't know.
Yeah, that she had her record sealed in the birth certificate.
Like, this is the anyway. So she's freaking out. She's like, they're saying Max and I are in a relationship, blah, 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 blah. And so the articles are like, floozy analyst hooking up with NHL star, captain in bed with analyst, is she flubbing stats, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, that's a plot hole.
Yeah, because also, the fix is, we're twins. And you guys are all creepy for thinking that.
So Travis barges into her office that morning when she gets to work and like closes the door, locks the door behind him and stands in front of the door. And she's like, unlock the door, Travis.
Yeah, 911.
She has to ask him 3 times in a row. She's like, unlock the door, Travis.
Security.
Otherwise, I'm gonna fucking
I would be on the phone.
Oh, literally.
Immediately.
Yep. And then he's like, fine. So he unlocks it. And then he's like, oh, so you're fucking the captain, huh? Is that what you're doing? And she goes, he goes, well, my cousin is the team coach, so watch the fuck out. And then she goes, I don't give a fuck who your cousin is. Max is my brother. And he goes, you're fucking your brother?
I mean, kind of.
And she goes, yeah, I'm fucking my twin brother, Travis, idiot.
I would be like, I don't know.
Like,
you
being
guys are giving me weird
sarcastic?
vibes. Well, yeah.
But then that night,
What is she gonna fuck her brother?
6
What?
hours later,
Yeah.
the trash magazines come out with another article. They're like, big, huge scoop. Now we know Max and Liv are twins and they're in a relationship.
So Travis
together.
is feeding the trash
Travis
magazines.
is feeding the
Yeah.
thing. And I'm like, you couldn't first of all, that's called slander and you could get sued for fucking defamation. I'm just reading this and I'm like, this is so dumb.
Yeah, and what a wild claim that like no one would really believe. Like,
yes.
you wouldn't immediately just believe that.
Yes. They're twins and they're in a relationship.
And they're
stupid.
fucking
Dumb.
Well,
I
they're
was
6 years apart.
Hate reading this. Yeah. Yeah. I just hate reading this. But.
Yeah, no, this book does sound so bad.
Uh-huh. And so it's a media frenzy now. And she's like been holed up in her apartment. She's not leaving. She's like, I don't want to deal. Like they're standing in front of her apartment with their microphones and they're like, are you fucking your twin? Are you fucking your, like, she can't go anywhere. It's
Olivia, quick.
Yeah.
What does it feel like when your brother fucks you?
Yes. Yes. So she like calls Aiden. She's like, I need you to come over. And so he comes over and they do it again. Now they're like, they've been hooking up for a couple weeks now.
That's her boyfriend.
She, by the way, has not hooked up with Dimitri once since the foursome or Connor at this point.
So she likes Aiden.
Yeah. So then, cut to a few days later, they're at a game in Vegas. And Connor's like on edge and he's like playing like shit. And he can't stop thinking about her. And he's like, God, I'm just like hung up on her. What do I do? And at breakfast, Aiden's like, I gotta tell you guys. I gotta fucking tell you. I've been hooking up with Liv. And they get pissed.
Oh, Connor's broken little heart.
Uh-huh. So at their scrimmage that day, they like beat the shit out of each other. And the coach is like, you fucking idiots, figure your shit out or don't come to the game. And so they're like sitting there on the bench and they're like, we can't let this woman come in between us.
Or can they?
And they're like, well, maybe.
If we come in between her.
Uh-huh. So they're like, okay, we got to talk. Like, they're like, are you into this? And they're like, sure, I'm into it if you're into it. They're like, okay, we need to talk to her and see if she'll be into
dating all of us.
Well, they at first were like, let's see if she just wants to be with one of us. Because it looks like she wants to be with Aiden.
It does.
You know what I'm saying?
She's acting that way.
Yeah. So, but they're like,
him.
We'll let her choose. And if she says no to Connor and Dimitri, then we'll be okay with that.
Let's do an Airbud thing.
What's that?
Put her in the middle of a room. They all stand around it and they call to her.
Yes.
And whoever she comes to is
wins.
her boyfriend.
Yeah. So after the game, there's a press conference and she's like, I'm going to set the fucking media straight at this press conference.
Yeah.
So she goes into the room. She like sits at the desk and she's like, I'm going to say this once and once only. I am not in a relationship with my twin brother.
You tell him, Mama.
We are not having sex with each other. And I will not answer any questions about my romantic
my brother.
life. Fucking my brother. And so she's like, yeah, put them in their place.
Good for you, honey. Mm-hmm. Pop off, diva.
So she's like, yeah, I want him over. So later that night, obviously they all come a-knocking on her door. And they tell her she needs to make a decision. And she's like, well, I can't make a decision right now, but right now I just want all three of you. Can we do that? And so they have another foursome. And this time Connor and Aiden finish inside her. So Dimitri has, if I'm keeping count here.
Okay. And I think you are.
As I was
I think you are.
Dimitri
count.
Has not come in her. The only thing I can think of is that on their first foursome, he came in her ass, and it dripped, and then Connor came in her vagina. So I'm like,
do you think they ever did airtight?
What's that?
When someone's in the butt, someone's in the vagina, and someone's in the mouth.
They did.
Yeah, all at the same time.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, airtight.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's in every fucking foursome book.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that's what it was called. So that morning, They all have the DTR talk, the define the relationship talk, after they fuck each other again and they fall asleep. It's a puddle of bodies. And then they wake up the next morning and the guys are like, we need to define the relationship. What's going on?
What are we? Them in unison saying that?
Yes. She's sitting at the table and they're all three standing there.
What are we?
So she's like, I want you all to be exclusive to me. Which I'm like, damn right.
I would say I want you to kiss each other.
Yeah, I would be like, we can all be exclusive of quadruple or whatever, but you guys are going to have to start kissing each other.
You're going to work out who the bottom is.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going to do that.
And we're doing that. And I'm watching.
Yeah. So they've made that decision. And they also say, well, open communication is going to be best so that no one gets jealous. And all that shit. Always. For sure. So then it hits her. She's like, when was my last period?
Tricky.
Mm-hmm. She chalks it up to stress because of Travis and the media and their job. She's like, I must have just skipped my period. I've skipped my period before over stress. It's just got to be stress.
Not all the raw loads you've been taking.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you.
It doesn't matter if you're on birth control. You've got 3 going all the time. So, cut to, it's been a couple of weeks now. They've fallen in a routine. She's busy at work. They're playing good. Everyone's happy. They're having sex with each other. Meanwhile, there's no sex scene. It's just...
What's the point?
I know. Then so that's 2 weeks later. So then she's really thinking, she's like, my tits hurt, blah, 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 blah.
I'm craving pickles and peanut butter or whatever.
So she is pregnant. She takes pregnancy test. She's pregnant. She's decided she's keeping the baby.
Oh, right. She's pro-life.
Well, she was like, I could get an abortion. She's pro-choice.
Good.
She's like, I could get an abortion.
Her body, her choice, and if she chooses to keep it, that's her choice.
Exactly. I will tell you this. She did have a 10-year plan, and she planned to have kids when she was 32. She's 26. So she's like, this is early. Tell me why ew.
Because I'm 33.
I know.
Ooh.
Well, that's how old my mom was when she had me. 33. Which is old back then. People still be having kids when they're,
Yeah. I know people...
if you really think about it right now, Paul?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me do some math in my head.
This will be a minute.
If I had a baby when I was 18, it would be 14 years. I could have a 14-year-old kid right now. And that's plausible.
I'm so glad you don't.
I know. Could you imagine?
You would be so miserable.
Paul, I can't even.
And such a monster.
I literally can't imagine. Well, we wouldn't be friends.
We wouldn't be friends. You wouldn't be friends with anyone. No. You would have no friends.
Well, I can't even.
You would shut the entire world out. You would work and take care of the kid, resent it, and be miserable.
Yeah.
I 100% know that would be what happened to you.
So do I. I can picture it.
Yeah.
But
I hate it.
That's plausible.
Your skin looks really bad when I picture it.
Oh, your
skin your hair and your skin look really bad when I'm picturing it, and you are frowning, and it's a permanent. I'm so sad for her.
Yeah, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I'm just thinking isn't that wild to think about sometimes? Anyway, she has this revelation. She's like, I'm keeping the baby. I'm not going to tell them until I absolutely fucking have to.
Wild.
So she's not going to.
Decision.
Uh-huh. And she's like, this will destroy their friendship. So I'll do this alone. Good logic.
Yeah, you're admirable.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I feel so
So whatever, cut to another game. Connor's perspective. We learn he's got OCD bad, and his OCD has been ramping up because he's cannot deal with the guilt that he's fucking Liv with his 2 friends, and Max is right there, and they're just lying to his face every day. He just can't live with this guilt that he has, so his OCD's really bad.
Okay.
He goes to her place that night alone. He's like, I need to be with someone tonight. Can I come over? She's like, sure, of course. So they're sitting on the couch. Actually, you know what? This is when they have pasta. It's not the other night.
Well, what they ate the other night? Whatever.
I can't remember.
Is it Chinese food? God, that sounds good.
It might have been.
Oh, that sounds
I would eat
good.
a hot load of Chinese food
Oh,
right now.
yeah. I'd get sick.
Yeah. So he comes over and he's sitting on the couch and she's like, I can tell something's wrong with you, Connor. Please, you can tell me anything. And he starts crying. He just pulls her onto his lap and just starts crying.
He'll be the good dad.
And she's like, actually, Aiden will be. Well, I think Aiden will be the best dad. He'll be like emotionally mature and check with his stuff.
Okay.
Normally Connor's like full on mask. Like he's the one who directs them. He's in control of everything. That's why he's got OCD. Like he's like,
I just thought he's like the sensitive one.
No, that's Aiden.
Oh, Aiden. Okay.
Yeah. So she's like, it's okay to be invulnerable in front of me. And then he was just like, I've been ruminating on this shit, and like, I don't know how much longer I can lie to Max's face every day.
Just tell him.
She's like, well, maybe.
Even though that is crazy to tell your brother. Hey, your 3 friends have been pounding me.
And also, we
don't need to mention that, though. Yeah. To me, I'm like, we can go ahead and not mention the high school stuff.
That.
Like, that's whatever.
Yeah, no, we've been keeping a secret from you for a decade.
Yeah, I would just explain that we recently became an exclusive quadruple.
And I'm pregnant, and I don't know who's the father.
Well, maybe.
I mean, I would be like, that's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot to drop on someone.
Yeah, I bet he calls her nasty names.
Okay, so she's like, maybe if we tell him that we're all in a committed relationship to each other and it's not just you guys tag teaming me, maybe it'll lighten the load. She's like, but let's wait for
the loads are not light.
Not with these men.
Not with these men.
Multiple.
Heavy loads.
So she's like, but let's wait for your next bye week. Because I don't want to screw. You guys are about to be in the playoffs. You actually have a chance at winning the Stanley Cup this year. So, like, I don't want to fuck that up.
I need you guys to win it for us. And then she touches her stomach.
Literally. And so then they have sex that night, her and Connor. And Connor
she can't get more pregnant.
Nope. But he doesn't know she's pregnant.
Yeah.
You know, she's lying. She's keeping it a secret. So he's, like, sucking on her titties.
Like you wanted me, calling me all the time. Like, check out this juicy behind. I'm fine, like, all the time. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to
Yeah, I can't not.
So he's sucking on her titties, and she's like, oh my God. She's, like, extra sensitive.
Yeah.
Now. And he's like, did her tits get bigger?
Are her nipples huge?
And he's like, why is she so... But honestly, she's, like, 6 weeks pregnant, so it's like...
It's like placebo. It's just because she knows.
Yeah. So he's like, why is she so sensitive all of a sudden? This is weird. That night when he's like holding her, he's like, I'm in love with this woman. I'm realizing I've been in love with her since I was 16. Like, I'm in love with her. I can't let her go. Whatever. So the next morning she wakes up and she's like, I'm going to be sick. Runs to the bathroom, gets sick. He's like, are you okay?
I immediately would have said pregnant.
For sure.
But I have made the joke anytime any female has ever been any unwell in the morning.
Any person in high school.
Oh, must be pregnant.
Must be pregnant.
And I've been right.
You were. So he's like, are you all right? She goes, I'm just stressed, whatever. And he's like, okay.
Dumb idiot.
Yeah. Well, so then there's more paparazzi photos and articles that morning on, trash,
saying
whatever.
She's pregnant.
They're photos of all 3 of the dudes, but they've got like hoods on, but they're carrying their hockey bags.
Dead giveaway.
In and out of her apartment. So they don't know what hockey players are. They have seen Aiden, but they're like, why are all these hockey players going into the analyst's apartment? Blah, 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 blah. Like, just making...
Who the fuck is camped outside?
Yeah, exactly.
Travis.
Right. So then Travis corners her and is like, I know you're fucking Connor, Aiden, and Dimitri.
I'd say, what of it are you jealous because you wish you were fucking them? No.
And then he goes, I know that's your dirty little secret. And I know you're like a dirty little whore, and I can give you that. My friends are better. If you just needed 3 men to fuck you, I can do that.
She was, I didn't need 3 men. These are 3 men I love. Okay, it's not about the number. It's about the men.
Oh, he goes, you want to be fucked by a real man? You just let me know. Blah, blah, blah.
Fuck Travis.
Like, sure, Travis. You probably wear fucking
You're
penny
a
loafers.
little dick prick.
I'd rather have sex with an NHL player.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway, so she shoves him away, and she like starts to panic. She's like, God, he's right. I mean, he doesn't know that he's right, but he is fucking right. So then later that day, she's interviewing the 3 of them and Max in the dressing room. They've all been dressed, but her and Travis are in there, and they're just like getting fun facts from them. They're just like getting whatever stuff to use in an art. Whatever.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't fucking know. And so in the middle of it, she's like, who? And has to run to the bathroom and puke again. And all 3 of them like look at each other. And so they follow her into the ladies' room. She's just like, I'm fine. And then Max was in the dressing room and he saw that happen. So he goes in there and he sees all 3 of them standing there and her standing there. And she just had got sick. And Max is like,
did one of you get her pregnant?
Does someone need to tell me something? I saw these articles today. You guys better not be fucking touching my sister. This better be fake.
Okay. Whatever.
I know.
I fucking don't care.
So she goes up to Max and she's like, can you shut the fuck up? Nothing is going on.
Yeah, I puked because of how bad you smell, you filthy, disgusting pig.
And then she like walks out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
That evening, Max is like, well, I'll drive you home because there's paparazzi camped out outside of the arena. And so I'll drive you home.
No one gives that much fucks about a hockey analyst.
None.
This
No
would not
one.
elicit this much like paparazzi.
No, Paul.
These are not celebrities.
Exactly. So he pulls up in front of her apartment. There's more media. And he goes, is it true? Are you sleeping with them? Oh, no. Sorry. While she's walking out of the arena, the paps are saying, is it true? Are you sleeping with them? Oh, we've heard that you got sick.
Olivia, stop, Olivia.
And then they say, we've heard you've been sick. Are you pregnant? And she like stops. She's like, what? So she gets in the car with Max, and then Max drops her off. Well, brings her to her apartment. And then he's like, is this shit true, Olivia? Like, is it actually true? And she just breaks down, starts crying, and she's like, it is true.
Can't lie to your twin.
Nope, can't do it. She's like, I've been sleeping with all of them. It's been going on since high school. And yes,
Dumb.
I am pregnant.
Giving up too much
For sure,
more than you need to.
You didn't need to. And I am pregnant. And I don't know who the father is. And so he freaks out. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? What? Which, that would be a lot to take in.
Yeah, that would be an insane amount of,
You're pregnant, you don't know who the father is, you've been sleeping with my best friends for a decade. Like, that's crazy. But
yeah, 3 of them at once.
Yeah.
Repeatedly, it sounds like. Sure.
Which is, yeah, a good time. I mean, I would be like, yeah, deal with it.
Yeah. Well, you'd have the abortion.
Over.
Yeah. You wouldn't even need to tell them anything.
No.
What's happening.
No. And I wouldn't worry them with it.
No.
They're about to go to the Stanley Cup finals.
No.
I'd be like, I'll deal with this. I'll be okay.
You guys do this.
Yes.
I'll make an appointment.
Yes.
She's got it so early that she could probably just do the pill one too.
For sure.
Yeah.
So eventually she's like, I just need you on my side. And so he chills out and he's like, okay, I won't. She's like, please don't tell them I'm pregnant. No one knows. I haven't told them. And he's like, Jesus Christ, Olivia. And she's like, well, I don't want to fuck with your guys' head. You're winning games all the time. He's like, fine, I'll keep your secret for you, but you need to tell them.
Secrets are getting people in trouble. And they should just learn that lesson now.
Mm-hmm. 1 week later, it's the night of the big game, which you'd think the night of the big game would be the Stanley Cup Finals. But no, this is the game that's going to determine if they can get to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Okay, so there is a bigger game.
So there is a bigger game. This is a big game.
This is the big game, but not the biggest game.
And her dizziness has been really bad.
Is that a pregnancy thing?
It is.
God, that sucks.
And some get it worse than others.
Oh my God.
Well,
pregnancy sounds awful.
Some get this thing called, I don't know what it is, where they puke multiple times a day for the entire 9 months.
Oh?
I would be like, just fucking end my life.
Yeah. I'm like, can you just like put me under?
Dude.
For 9 months? Can I wake up in 9 months with a baby in my hands?
Dude, I saw a TikTok the other day of this woman. She was like, if you needed another reason to not have a baby, I just want you to know my clit got ripped in half. It's been 7 months and I'm still in pain. I said,
your what got what and what?
Uh-huh. I said, that is another reason.
You
I
have
will
babies?
write that down.
That's great. That's good for you. I hope you
have kids.
I hope you do find out all the things that can go wrong, so you are prepared.
Yes.
So that you're informed.
It's just it's not for me.
It's not.
It's not for me.
It's not for you.
If it is for you, I love that.
Yeah, that's great for you.
Love that.
But holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
That is a crazy sentence.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, so night at the big game, she's extremely dizzy. She's like swaying on her feet. She pushes through it. She finally gets there. They're kind of like, her and Travis are like rink side.
Yeah.
There's like a camera and they're doing interviews rink side. And it's, I think, first intermission. There's 2 intermissions in a hockey game. This is first intermission.
Good to know.
Travis says shit to her right before they go on air, and he's like, hope you fucking have fun tonight because it's the last time you're ever going to do anything because I'm going to fucking blow the lid off your story and tell everybody how much of a whore you are. You're pregnant by all these.
What is this dude's problem?
He's just a fucking crazy person. So they're up on the Jumbotron, like during an intermission, and all of a sudden she faints. Lands on the ground.
Is this like a high risk pregnancy or something?
She's really not eating.
You can't do that.
So since she found out she was pregnant, she's been so stressed, and like every day she's like, fuck, did I eat today? Fuck, did I eat today? So she's not eating, she's not sleeping, and she's stressed. So yeah.
She's knocked up. She's triple knocked up.
She's not doing a good job. I'll tell you that, of taking care of
she's not taking her prenatals.
She's not. And so everyone's like, oh shit. The arena goes silent because they're up on the Jumbotron.
Yeah. Awkward, uncomfortable.
Yeah. And so her mic is still hot, and someone's like, are you okay? And she goes,
I'm pregnant.
I think so, but I need to go to the hospital. I'm pregnant. I need to see if everything's okay. And you can hear it throughout the arena.
You know what that's going to be one day? Included in a YouTube news bloopers.
Totally. And so obviously the guys hear it.
Yeah.
And they look at Max, and Max is like, not having the reaction they thought he would. And they were like, do you know that she's pregnant? Max is like,
yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I'm like, I know she's pregnant, and I know the three of you have been fucking her. So how about we all just talk about that?
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, I know that you've been fucking with her and all this shit. And so they put her on a stretcher. And
this is dramatic.
Max is like, stay here, finish this game, win this fucking game so we can go to Stanley Finals. I'll take my twin sister to the hospital. I'll go.
That's one of our babies, though.
Right. And you're team captain, Max.
Yeah.
You should probably stay.
We should quit.
Aiden should go.
Oh.
In my opinion.
Anyway,
okay. So he gets in like the ambulance with her, and they go to the hospital.
Okay.
And the doctor is like,
you're having triplets.
Oh, we need to.
They might all be different.
Which that would have been a fun.
That would have been fun. You know?
So
that'd have been like campy or something.
For sure. Well, I'll talk about it later. So the doctor's like, all right, let's see, let's give you a check. And so he's doing the ultrasound thing or whatever. He's like, make sure everything's okay. And she's having twins.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's because twins run in her family because she's a twin.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of sense in that.
Travis, they win the game. And so everyone's in the dressing room.
The big game.
Yep. They're going to the Stanley Cup Finals.
In the dressing room or the locker room?
It's called the dressing room.
Is it?
But it is a locker. There's no lockers. They're called dressing rooms. Because they're fancy.
Sounds like a ballet.
Yeah. In the pro.
I'm learning so much about hockey, honestly.
Well, we're going to do a real hockey romance.
Okay.
Because I'm obsessed with hockey romance.
Yeah, this is definitely not
the worst.
Yeah.
Not only the worst not only the worst hockey romance I've ever read, it's the worst book I've ever read.
Well, because we also I want to do a hockey one because I know you do hockey ones, and I want you to do a cowboy one.
Oh, I'll be happy to do one.
I want your greatest hits.
Okay, I'll give them to you. So Travis walks into the dressing room and starts talking shit to all three of them, and Dimitri's like, I fucking had it, and just beats the shit out of him. They're like talking shit about her. He's like, I know your girl's a whore, blah, blah, blah.
Who does Travis think
he wants her job.
He wants her job, so he's gonna walk into a room full of fucking tough hockey players and talk shit.
So they
and how unprofessional to walk into a room and talk shit about that. I'm upset.
So unprofessional. They get to the hospital. They're like, "Let's go get our girl." They say that 15 times in this book. I swear to God.
Honestly, I liked the people from Den of Vipers more than these guys.
Oh yeah, Paul.
And I hated them.
And the whole taco thing in Den of Vipers.
Yeah.
That was what was in. That was the fucking type of writing that was in this book. Cheesy as fuck. Terrible.
No.
Anyway.
I want adults to talk about sex.
Exactly.
Not these children.
So they go to the hospital, and she's like, we need to talk. And they surround her in the hospital bed, and they're like, we all love you. We love you, Olivia. Be with us. Just stay with us. We understand you're pregnant. We don't care whose it is. Man. We don't want to know. We're in this forever. She's like, I love you. I want to be with you all too. That's great. 1 month later, they're having another chat. And she decides, they all decide as a group that she needs to legally marry one of them for like legal purposes. And
for taxes.
All this shit, And they're like, well, after we win the Stanley Cup, let's decide who you want to marry. And then they're like, oh, whoever fucking gets the most goals or something. They say something so stupid.
They're taking bets on it.
Uh-huh.
What about whoever fathered the children?
Well, they've decided they're not going to do a paternity test.
I hate these people.
Yeah. So
I need to know.
You know what? This is actually really going. Never mind.
What?
I'll tell you when it happens. It might be a couple months from now, but I'll tell you when it happens, and I won't forget.
Okay. Whoa, that's fucking cryptic,
isn't it?
Whoa.
So she's like, but let's decide that after you guys win the Stanley Cup, whatever. So it's been a month. Travis has been MIA. He got put on suspension for being a piece of shit, and he hasn't been around for the last month.
Good.
And
I think he should get fired.
Yeah, and the new kid that she's been working with, he's great. She loves him. He's super sweet, knows all the stats. She's like, you're amazing.
Great.
And so it's the night of the final game. This is actually the big game.
Okay.
And they're the underdog, and they pull it through, and they win the Stanley Cup.
Thank God.
They're like carrying it above their heads, skating around the ice, all this shit.
Well, they have children to make proud of.
Yep. And Aiden comes on the mic, and Aiden's like...
He comes on it?
He talks into the mic, and he's like, Olivia, I love you. I've loved you since we were 5 years old. Will you marry me? And she's like, yes. And so he proposes to her.
Okay.
And then 7 months later, she's giving birth.
Okay.
She's giving birth to the kids. 2 boys.
2 boys.
And they come out with...
One's always gay. That's a fact.
Brown hair.
Okay.
And I guess it never described what any of them look like, but based off of what I read in the last chapter, I guess Aiden and Connor must have both been blondes, and Dimitri was the only brown-haired, because they're like,
I don't think that's
hair.
how
First
genes
of all,
work.
Aren't Russians blonde?
Well, also, like, don't we have to factor in her hair and her family's hair?
So they're like, these are Dimitri's babies. I know these are Dimitri's babies. And he's like joking around. He's like, "Hi, I told you my Russian sperm was
strong Russian
yes,
sperm.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes." And so he's like, "They're my babies."
You weak
and
American
like,
cum.
Shut up, you know. And so, but they're all in love. They're all happy. Epilogue.
I'm glad this is getting over.
Yeah. Some years later.
Some of them.
I'm thinking like 4 to 5.
Okay.
But it doesn't say. They're flying over to Scotland. When her parents left, when she moved to Boston initially, they fell in love with Scotland and they decided to stay there. I don't think citizenship works that way, but whatever.
They bought their way in.
I guess. So her parents live there now, and the guys, surprise her with a surprise flight to Scotland. And
with 2 little kids? That sucks.
With 2 twins, first class, but I mean, they're rich. So,
oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they're probably nanny.
iPad kids, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
She gets there and the mom's like, surprise, I'm taking you wedding dress shopping, surprise. She still hasn't married Aiden. They're having a surprise Scottish wedding.
And Scottish weddings are historically triple.
Well,
right?
they have, no. So they have a Scottish tradition where there's a broom involved, and if you jump over the broom, you're
can fly.
Scottish married or whatever. So she marries Aiden, but then she does the Scottish wedding thing with Dimitri and Connor. And Dimitri's like, they have similar thing in Russia, and so now we are Russian.
We jump
We're
over
married
vodka.
in Russia and a bottle of vodka. And now they're married and they live happily ever after.
I mean, if I'm Connor or Dimitri, I'd be like, this does feel cheap.
Oh, yeah.
I feel cheap.
Well, you know who feels really cheap? Is Connor, because Dimitri's got the kids, Aiden's marrying her. What the fuck does Connor have?
He
Nothing.
bosses them around in the bedroom.
Yeah. Which I would take that. That would be enough for me if I was Connor.
Yeah.
I call the shots.
Yeah, that sucked.
It was a
That was a disappointment. That was a dud.
Dud? Is that
Dud.
the worst book you've ever heard of in your entire life?
Yeah, nothing happened and nothing mattered, and no, I didn't care about anything.
No. This was me read. I was like, okay, next page.
I'd be like, yeah, please be over. Please be over. Please be over.
I get it. I understand what's happening. I just was skipping pages. It was so bad. This in relation to true. So I'm not going to say the title because we're going to do this book. But people will be excited about it because it is a very, very famous romance novel.
About
contemporary romance, which is all I read. Very famous contemporary romance that does this. I don't want to say too much because we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Does this genre fucking
better?
No, not better.
Okay.
It's the standard.
I'm so sorry to insult it.
It's the standard.
Okay.
It's the standard.
Okay.
And so having read that, and then I saw this and I was like, cool.
Yeah.
I said this.
Reverse harem sounds fun. Hockey sounds
reverse
fun.
harem, why choose is with hockey.
Yeah.
Is one of my favorite things.
But that was not good. None of that was good.
Oh, God almighty.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you something. I've been dreading doing this. Your prediction of this book, where that girl goes to studies,
Yes.
that would have been so good. But no, this book sucked.
That would have been so good.
Yeah, so what star would you give this book?
1, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
because it's like they wrote it.
Yep.
You wrote a book.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yes. 100%.
But just like characters, not developed, no depth. Situations, it's like
that wouldn't happen.
situations that wouldn't happen, but also weren't interesting enough for me to care if they did happen.
No. This media thing where they thought
That would never
that's not
happen.
A fucking good. That's not a whatever.
People aren't even
And the
that
smut
interested in
wasn't even good.
NHL players. They're not like football players or basketball players. Like those people get followed around. NHL is B-list celebrity of sports. Sorry.
I don't know about that.
I do.
I
If I don't know
that.
about sports, but I know basketball players and I know football players, that's because they get talked about
That's
in the
true.
mainstream media in the world I don't live in. I don't know a single. I mean, I
I
guess
do live in that hockey world, though.
You do.
So I see more of it than you
Yeah.
do. Hockey is pretty big, but whatever.
it's not as big as basketball and football. In America?
I don't know. I think people would disagree.
America,
I don't know,
though?
but whatever.
I bet
I'm
if we
not-
pulled
I'm
up the
not
numbers,
I mean, we should
if we're looking price,
get in a fight over it.
we think talking about money that they bring in each year. I bet basketball brings in the most.
I bet football brings in the most in America,
Yeah.
and then I would say basketball, and then I would
Yeah.
say hockey.
Well, what about baseball?
Oh, but well, yeah.
I think baseball might be bigger than hockey.
I think it could go football. What's the other one? Basketball,
Oh,
and then baseball, and then hockey, and then baseball. Should we look it up? How do you
yeah.
type that?
I don't know. What sports is the best?
What order of sports is?
What's the most popular sport in America?
The most popular sports in America ranked. This is fun.
Tell me.
Football, basketball, baseball.
Yeah, dude.
Yep. Oh,
What? How? What?
football, basketball, baseball.
Soccer, hockey.
Yeah.
That does kind of make sense.
Forgot about soccer.
I did it,
Soccer
but I just thought
in
that
America?
soccer. I know.
I disagree. I'm going to say I disagree.
Yeah, I don't know where they're getting their facts, but I agree with most of it.
God, I hated this book.
Yeah. God, that sucked.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll do a better book next
Yeah.
week. I've chosen one I know is a good book.
Okay, great.
And it's written by one of my favorite authors.
Thank God. That's good. Good.
And you're going to be into it.
Okay,
I'm going to be into it. And I'll say this. It is a genre that I have not read yet and have always wanted to. I don't know what the tropes are,
Okay.
but the genre is not.
I was
mean,
gonna ask you, but don't tell
I'm
me,
sorry.
'cause
The
it-
genre
that's-
is romance, obviously.
Well,
Sorry,
yeah,
that was
all the subgenres in
it's
romance.
something I've always wanted to, and I have not read yet. I've had these books for a while. It's
Intriguing.
paperback. I have it in my library at home.
Oh.
Have you seen my bookcase?
Oh, I don't know.
In my bedroom? Oh, I got a 7-foot tall.
That's appropriate.
Behemoth.
You should have like a big.
it's-
you should have like a couple. You should have Beauty and the Beast
This
library,
got delivered.
ladders with wheels.
Yeah. Well, that's what I want. The people who delivered it. Well,
Could have had your own little romance.
I wish I tried.
How hard?
Not very hard. Not as hard as the HVAC guy that came over. Orlando. Did I tell you that?
No.
I didn't? Oh, I didn't?
No.
Oh,
I don't know anything
that's-
about Orlando.
Oh, that's a whole thing.
Don't-
So I had no heat for a long time. This guy comes over. He is fine.
Oh God,
Orlando. He was Hispanic. He was from Texas. I had the day off, and he was in my apartment from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you know when you sit on my couch, there's the TV
Yes,
and there's the
and the
thermostat?
mirror.
He was working on that thermostat for 9 hours, and we talked all day long. I like put on my. It was like the day after I got my hair done or something, or like.
Oh, so you're
my
looking.
hair
You're
looked
day 2
my hair
hair.
looked on point. My makeup was cute. I was looking in the mirror. I'm like, I'm looking cute.
That's the universe, baby.
And he and I I put a playlist on. We're talking. He's like, finally, we're talking like, he's like, where do you want to travel? Where have you been? I was like, where do you want to travel? He's like, I like your music. I like your playlist. Like, we were hitting it off.
What the fuck?
And he was like, well, give me your number and I'll text you. I know.
He asked for your number?
Yeah, but he was
Angela!
well, here I am, Paula, nothing's happened. So he was like, look, give me your number. I got to text you because this isn't working. We've got to come back another day. And so
Bullshit.
when he left, it was one of those moments where it was like, bye.
Butterflies.
But like, he didn't want to leave. Like, you could tell it was like, all right, well, bye. And he's
This
like,
is so
he's like,
cute.
Okay, well, bye. I know
This
it
is a
was.
cute.
He was fine. And he wasn't tall,
Angela
but I would say that it was
Orlando.
fine.
Orlando and Angela.
Yeah, right? Orlangela.
Orlangela. Angelo.
Angel
Angelardo.
Doe. Angel Doe. And then that was it. Haven't talked since.
So he never texts you to be like, hey, we're coming back.
He did.
So you have his number.
I do have his number. Maybe he probably had a girlfriend.
When we cut these cameras, we're gonna talk about this.
he probably has a girlfriend.
When we cut these cameras, we'll talk about this.
Okay, anyway. So yeah, that was something that happened.
That's exciting.
Recently. I know. Well, I literally was like, this is we flirted for
Girlfriend ain't
8
married.
hours, dude. It's true.
Yeah.
I would have then and there. He's like, "Oh, where's your cat?" Like he was talking. He's
He
like,
said, I'll show you my cat.
Like it was a fucking the whole day.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
This kitty
I was like, I can't believe
purrs.
this just happened to me. I was like, am I living in the Twilight Zone? Anyway,
Hot.
Yeah, it was a.
That would have been a
thing.
hot scene.
Paul, it was hot. Anyway,
Right about it.
so the book we're going to be reading next week, can't wait to see what you do with this, is called Fight. You could keep it short and simple.
I think that Fight is about a 26-year-old female character.
Okay.
And she lives in...
Thailand?
No, she lives in America, but the year is 2030. Society has fallen. The government has failed. The economy crashed.
2030?
2030.
Okay.
And we did not bounce back.
Not far off.
So we've basically devolved into
The Hunger Games?
kind of Hunger Games, kind of like it's like
Territory.
there is no middle class.
Yeah.
It is the elite rich and it is the poor.
Yep.
And they got to the point where we basically severed into two separate nations.
Okay.
And the ruling class has retreated to its walled cities while they've left the poor of us out to live in the ruins
Yep.
of the cities and towns. And we've just basically become little villages, scrounging, no power, no running water, just awful while the people in their
Yep.
walled cities live great.
Yep.
And so this book is about our female main character, lost both of her parents in the initial downfall. They went to go protest. Protesters were killed. That's what started the rift. That's when we decided to break into two nations. We were ungoverned by the rich anymore after they killed all of us during the protest. I'm dead in this book.
Me too.
You are too. We're dead.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to live anyway.
Yeah, I know you. You don't got that dog in you. So she's just trying to take care of her two younger siblings, her 13-year-old little sister and 9-year-old little brother. And they live kind of on the outskirts of a village, which is what they kind of call them now, the societies.
Okay.
And one day something horrible is going to happen and raiders are going to come and they're going to kill her siblings. And they're going to take her because they're going to sell her.
I'll definitely cry.
Because the human trafficking trade is out of control.
Oh, I believe
in this world, this lawless world. Like there is no law unless you're in these walled cities. So she gets taken and then whatever, she's kidnapped for a while. Eventually she fucking gets all badass, Rambo's out, kills her captors, but now she's like,
She's been like,
you know,
like 500 push-ups a day. For
yeah.
the last 6 months.
And then she's like, you know, choking them with her fucking chains or whatever and kills them. But I mean, she's been taken like, you know, across who knows how many states away. She has no idea where she even fucking is anymore. Like she's being trafficked, you know. And so she's ends up just like getting broken out and then she's like in a camp in the woods. And so she's just like running in the woods. Right. So then it's going to be like her kind of surviving until she finds like a ragtag little group of like dudes. All dudes, all like different,
but all good guys.
All good guys. But like, you know, she runs into them into like their camp in the woods.
Ooh,
and
is this
they're
gonna be a reverse harem.
Yeah.
Why choose?
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah. But it's going to be like, there's like kind of like a different flavor of every dude.
Of course,
it's like 4 guys.
They each have to serve a purpose.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, there's the super smart, real lean, tall, nerdy planner guy. There's the big buff himbo. There's going to be like the hothead, like biker guy, upset, whatever, tatted up, you know. And then there's going to be the chef, the cook.
So 4.
The 4 of them. And they've kind of banded together.
And they fuck each other.
The chef and the nerdy one do.
Okay.
They were together when they met the other 2 guys and they all ran off together.
Okay.
And then, but like the other ones were like, well, I was always straight, but like, it's the end of the world. Like, let's just have a good time. So they have all been.
All 4 of them?
4 of them
Okay,
been
so that
like
would
jerking, hanging out, like circle jerks,
so that would
whatever.
be MMF.
Yeah.
If there were any M's after the F, that would mean that they don't
Get
fuck each
with
other.
the M, the other
Yep,
M's.
that
Yeah.
means they're straight.
That I could see that. They got to
So it's
separate with the
MM.
F.
Yeah, so it's MMMMF.
Yeah. So she runs into them.
Love that she runs into
And I'll get into this later, but they, have a, whoa, who the fuck are you? She tells her their whole story. They band together. By night 3, they're all fucking.
Nice.
Like
Love
at
that.
first, like she's just fucking the 2 straight air quotes guys.
Yeah.
And then like
her and one of them has to go to the stream to get water one morning. They have a moment.
Yeah.
They share a kiss. That
the hothead one is like they have a moment alone. He's like pissed. He's like, I've got another fucking mouth to feed. We can't just be taken in like chair.
Yeah.
And she's like, what happened to you?
Yeah.
What's wrong? Tames him. She tames him.
Ooh, this would be good.
She intellectually stimulates the smart guy because like whatever, maybe she graduated college, she has a degree in whatever, and they know shit. They just be like talking. But so that's when she finds out that him and the guy, the chef that he's with, like they're bi and they used to sleep with girls and have foursomes and threesomes like all the time.
Yeah.
And she's like, great. And they have the first threesome, just the 3 of them. But then eventually they're all fucking, and it's just
that.
like, and she's like, but what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like we can't just live in the woods, fuck each
yes, you
other.
can.
And that's what they say. They go, no,
Yes,
that's
you
literally why we're here. Like we
What else
left
are we gonna
because
do?
it's lawless in the towns. We are not going to get into these walled rich cities.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why we came out here. So we could just live and fuck and be away and not and be safe. And she's like, we can't, like we have to fight. Name drop. And then she starts a rebel alliance with them, and they start going and gathering people, and she's fucking talking, and she's getting all the people hyped up. Yeah, we're going from village to village.
We're getting time jumps.
Yeah.
3
Oh yeah.
months,
Total
5
time jumps.
months,
And she's
6
like,
months.
you're seeing a change in her, like physically and her personality, where
becoming
like
a
she's
leader.
getting, she's like, she's tough. She's a leader. She's doing what's up, but she's like kind, and she's doing it right. She's what America needed and never got.
Nice.
And now out of the fucking ruins,
Yes.
she rises back up. And
Paul, honestly, what you're describing right now would be a 5-book series.
yeah, it would be good. And it's fucking the whole time.
Yeah.
It's fucking. And I mean, like she's, she goes to maybe like another rebel village and she has to talk to their leader.
Yes.
And then they get alone together on a dinner and she's fucking them, consolidating power and like using her sexual. And she's like creating this open, free love world. And then, eventually they take on the walled cities.
Yeah.
And, she gets the opportunity, and it's kind of like the height of it where it's like, you can kill all of them. Like, you can take everything from them and kill them is her, like, choice. Like, set a bomb off or something. And she's going to choose not to.
Okay.
But
She's better than that.
she's better than that. But it doesn't mean that, like, they won't be punished.
imprisoned.
Yeah, like, we're imprisoning you, and you're going to see the errors of your ways.
You will.
And we're going to...
They're going to rebuild
Yeah.
America, and they're going to do the physical
Yeah.
labor.
The people, the rebels, we're going to work with you, but we're working with you out of our own accord, and they're enslaved basically
Yes.
to do it. And then we start a whole new nation built on building things together and respecting each other.
And it's
And
normal
fucking-
to have 5 boyfriends.
Yeah, that's like very normal.
and that they're boyfriends.
Yeah.
That's not taboo.
Jealousy and things have kind of been
Yes.
put
Paul,
to the side
that is
because
a
we
fine-
lost everything.
Yep. That's a 5-book series that I would fucking read.
Yeah. So that's what I think Fight is about.
Okay. We'll see.
All their like posters are going to be like fists and they say fight.
I
on
love
them.
that. That's great.
Because they're like, all we have left is the fight in us.
Yeah. And,
And
oof. Fighting and fucking.
Fighting and fucking.
Yep.
Fighting the rich, fucking the poor.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Out there.
Yeah. Well,
I was thinking while you were saying that, I was like,
what?
they'd really have to pull out because what if she got pregnant?
Yeah.
She couldn't get an abortion.
Yeah. But maybe she doesn't want one. Maybe she's trying to raise the next generation. But I mean, yeah.
She doesn't
I'm with you. She doesn't get pregnant. She doesn't get pregnant.
Epilogue 2
Yeah, maybe
of
like
book
once
5.
once they're rebuilding, then she takes like time and they live together and
For
she does
sure.
get pregnant and it's like, and now we're starting our homestead.
She's 36 by book 5.
Yeah.
It's been 10
Oh,
years.
yeah.
She's 36 now. They are deciding to be a family.
Yeah.
I could see that. I would love
Yeah.
that. That would be an HBA
and they like
that I would love.
redo the
try.
government with no individual leader. There is no president. It is a group
Yep.
for what's best
What
for
is
the
that
group.
called?
I don't know. I think they're fake.
I think so too. Anyway, that's interesting. We should
Yeah.
see what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for spending some time with me.
No problem. Yeah, at least we got to hang out.
Yes, and
The book sucked, at least we got to hang out.
happy episode 20.
Happy episode 20 to you too.
That's exciting.
That is exciting.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.